Good morning, Church on the Hill families. Thank you so much for joining me on this wonderful Saturday morning. This week, I just wanted to share with you something quickly, something that happened in my life, something that happened with my family. We found out that we are having a baby boy, and we're really excited. We're really overjoyed for that. And then, of course, we also found out they did the ultrasound, and it doesn't look like there's any complications. And my wife and I, we are really, really excited because of that. We are just really overjoyed that God is working in our lives, and He's continuing to do great things in each and every single one of us. And during this time, as we're going through just stuff together, one of the things that we have to continually do is just choose to focus on the things that God is doing for us and find the joy in those everyday situations. I know something for me as a leader, as we've been making phone calls and talking to people and doing those kinds of things. You all, it's interesting because we've been trying to call you to encourage you, but you have actually been an encouragement to us as well, as we hear stories of people just finding ways to see God in their everyday situations, and that's so cool to me. So today, I just wanted to read something about God's joy and the joy, rather finding joy in the Lord, and so today. Our scripture reading is going to be out of Isaiah, and that's Isaiah 61:10. I got a couple translations for you. First one is going to be out of the NIV, and that reads, I am overwhelmed with joy in the Lord, my God, for He has dressed me with the clothing of salvation and draped me in a robe of righteousness. I am like a bridegroom dressed for his wedding, or a bride with her jewels. And then in the Message, I really like the way that it says it. It says, and this is actually verses 10 through 11, and it says, I will sing for joy in God, explode in praise from deep in my soul. He dressed me up in a suit of salvation. He outfitted me in a robe of righteousness. And as a bridegroom who puts on a tuxedo, and a bride a jeweled tiara. For all the earth bursts with spring wildflowers, and as a garden cascades with blossoms, so the Master, God, brings righteousness into full bloom. He puts praise on display before the nations. God is such an amazing God. And one of the things that, during this time, one of the things as a parent that is so important to me is seeing my girls, seeing my kids, and now, of course, our baby boy that we're going to be having here in a few months, seeing them grow and develop and just, choose to have that relationship with God. I know one day they're going to make that choice. They're going to, they're going to choose to follow Him. And it's very important to me to instill those Christian values. And, it's interesting that, I get to do that. That's a privilege for me. And it's a privilege for my wife that we get to do those things. So today, I know not all of us have kids, but today I want you guys to look at your kids, look at the things that they're doing, look at the impacts and the influence that they have on their lives. And I just want you guys to understand that you are so important to what's going on with them, and to look for those little joy moments. I know one of the things that just drives me, I mean, it just absolutely kills me in a good way, right? Whenever my girls do something that's crazy or silly or just sometimes a little weird, it brings me so much joy, and it makes me so happy to see them do those things. But this week, what I would like for you guys to do is I want you guys, or at least today, look for those moments. Look for those moments. If it's not your kids, maybe it's your spouse or your friends or whatever. Look for those little moments of joy and let us know. Let us know down in the comments. Let us know on Facebook. Let us know wherever. Those moments, share those with us. And so that we can be not only an encouragement to us as leaders, but an encouragement to each other. You never know. You never know who's going to read those things. You never know who's going to see them. It may be something that is just silly. It may be something that's, doesn't seem like it would be interest to anyone other than you. But I'm telling you, sometimes that's what it takes for people. And so please leave those below. I encourage you to do that today. Also, before we go, I wanted to remind you tomorrow is Easter. Woohoo! And we have our services starting at 9 a.m. We invite you to gather together with us again, as we do every week, and just go through those services with us. We love you guys. We're praying for you, and we'll see you next week.